Hey everyone, what an amazing announcement we just had from Apple, and the word metaverse was never uttered once. Neither was avatar, which means it might finally be leaving our XR vocabulary, and we can leave that one to James Cameron. Apple announced their Vision Pro headset yesterday, a first-generation device which we rarely see from them, with augmented and virtual reality capabilities that can be transitioned by twisting the crown on the device, just like we've seen on the Apple Watches so far. And this is not a buddy device, so it doesn't have to be paired with your phone or your MacBook. This is a standalone device and a computer all in of itself, and it runs on an M2 chip, has 4K micro LED displays for each one of the eyes, has its own Wi-Fi connections, there's speakers on the bands right by your ears, and there's even an R1 chip that does all the processing for the headset sensors in real time. Now, what's unique about what Apple has done here is it's the removal of any sort of controllers being required. And right now it doesn't even seem like any sort of third-party controllers are going to be an option, and instead Apple just really figured out how to make great eye tracking so that the need for controllers just isn't there anymore. The end user simply moves their eyes wherever they want to look, and then they touch their finger and their thumb and their pointer finger together in order to select. And if you need to type something, you just stare into the search box and you start talking, and the words fill in the spaces for you there. The Vision Pro uses Optic ID, which is utilizing retinal scan technology to decipher one end user from another so that all of your information, your apps, your usage history, they're not shown to another user. And we've seen retinal recognition in the HoloLens previously, and I was pretty impressed at how well it worked. So let's also talk about seeing people's eyes through the device. It's not actually transparent. There's an OLED screen that's facing out, and it's two-way pass-through. So while it looks like it's see-through, it's really a digital recreation of the end user's eyes and not viewing them directly. And when not using the pass-through mode, instead of like watching a movie or something, the headset won't show the end user's eyes. Instead, they'll blur them out and it'll be like a blurred screen. And the only app that shows up are the own Apple apps that you have already, right? So there's nothing new from developers as of right now, and we have to give developers some time to come out with new applications. So as of right now, it'll be all stuff from the iPad store and even the gaming side. We have a pretty large disparity between devices available and wanted, and Apple is opening 6 Vision Pro developer labs worldwide in Cupertino, London, Munich, Shanghai, Singapore, and Tokyo, and more information about those are coming in July. And Apple's ecosystem is very much in play with the Vision Pro. It's a pretty neat feature, but it's the ability to look at your MacBook Pro while wearing the headset, and the Vision Pro will instantly mirror your Mac. FaceTime looks really interesting as well. The headset creates a 3D model of the person wearing the headset for other users to see more than just your eyes. But it's not actually you, it's a 3D recreation of yourself. So you can also have multiple people on a FaceTime call now, and by utilizing spatial audio, you can differentiate who the voice is that's going with the actual character that you're seeing in front of you. And of course, there's no need now to hold on to a device anymore for those really, really long FaceTime calls, which I think we've all gotten tired of at some point. The device also has 2 front-facing cameras that can record in stereoscopic 3D, so you can relive a moment. Now, for me, I just don't think this is going to make a whole lot of sense at first. I'm certainly not going to be that dad that's at the kid's birthday party staring at my kiddo with this headset on while she's blowing out her candles. On top of that, there's no haptics at all, which honestly doesn't really surprise me. Coming from AWE, I wasn't overly blown away with where we're at right now with haptics. I just don't know if it's necessary. The other downside to this is that the Vision Pro is a pretty heavy device. It's made out of metal and glass, whereas competitors are using plastic so that they can keep their weight down. I just don't know how realistic it's going to be to wear one of these headsets for that long. And I think that's another reason why the battery is external. I'm sure that longer magnetic chargers will be utilized to stay plugged in and stay charged while you're using the device, but the battery pack only being good for 2 hours once you unplug, I think we're going to have multiple batteries realistically. Now, the Vision Pro does destroy the competition when we're talking 4K micro LED displays, because each one of the eyes are offering 23 million pixels. And to give you an idea, it's 64 pixels in the space where iPhone would be able to fit 1. So pretty big deal there. Now, to begin with, the only applications are going to be iPad and Apple Arcade apps, and they're going to be available at the onset. But as always, the developers will shape and shift this device, how it's utilized, and how it influences the future versions down the road, realistically. But with the price tag being at $3,499, it's a lot, without a doubt, but it's hard to say that it's overpriced when there really isn't anything exactly to compare it to. It's only slightly more expensive than the Microsoft HoloLens, and even if someone does get closer, it still won't have that same ecosystem for Apple applications. And while it is priced out for regular consumer adoption, the first Vision Pro device is only the start, and most Apple devices start out this way, and eventually an SE model will come out and release for more reasonable prices. This is just the beginning, but it's certainly the beginning of a different way of consuming content going forward. And as always, Apple's changed the game for forever. Again, the future is XR, and if you're working in the XR world or looking to step into the future with XR, Canon XR is here to help bring your XR dreams into reality. Regardless of if you're developing your own XR application or you're looking for a helping hand to take your ideas to the next level, Canon's here to help. Reach out to Canon XR by emailing them at inquiry@canonxr.com. You can also, of course, find our podcasts on social media at ETIB Podcast. And of course, if you like this episode, like and subscribe and check out another one of these emerging technologies and business videos that'll pop up here on YouTube above my head. That's going to do it for today in our review of the brand new Apple Vision Pro. I've been your host, Brock Riney. We're going to talk some more emerging tech next time. Bye, everybody.